In this video, I show you how to make this right here. As you can tell from the title, it is air fryer barbecue wings with homemade barbecue sauce. I promise you that the barbecue sauce is really simple to make. So keep watching. I'm going to show you exactly how to get this done. So what we're going to do first is take about a dozen of party wings, and you are going to wash those in some apple cider vinegar, lemon, and water, and then pat those dry. If you look at the left top corner, you will see all the ingredients and the measurements. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take about 1 teaspoon. As you can see here, this is a teaspoon, and you are going to just put that over the wings, and then you're going to proceed with the rest of the ingredients. We have Mrs. Dash. Make sure you get the original kind, and you're going to add about a tablespoon of that. You're also going to add about a tablespoon of any garlic and herb of your choice. I chose the ones from Kingsford. I really like those. And then the next thing that you're going to add is going to be some garlic powder. You're going to add 1 tablespoon of this as well. And after you get that in there, the next thing that you are going to add is going to be the Creole. So you're going to add 1 tablespoon of Creole as well. You can use any brand that you like. This one is the one that I do prefer. Quick disclaimer, I am not sponsored by anybody. So now you're going to take some smoked paprika. Be sure to only use about a teaspoon of that. This is very powerful. A lot of people say they can't taste smoked paprika or paprika, but you can. Then we are simply just going to get those seasonings mixed well with the chicken. You can take your time doing this because you want them to be very flavorful and you want them to be evenly coated. You can also use the seasonings of your choice, but for my recipe, this is what I'm using. Next, you're going to take 1 tablespoon of my sage-infused olive oil. I will link the video to this in the description so you can see how to make this. And then you're going to toss it. Keep in mind, this is in an air fryer, so it does need a little bit of oil. If you use oil, I do prefer that you use olive oil. So once you make sure that these are coated well, the first thing that you're going to do after this is you want to preheat your air fryer at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. After it's preheated, you're going to take some olive oil spray or whatever spray that you have, and you are going to spray the rack. This is very important. If you do not, they will stick to that rack. If you have aluminum foil, that's even better. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to line that rack with the wings. You can give them a little bit of room, but it really doesn't matter. They're going to cook, and then they're going to move around as they cook. So you just want to take all the wings. Again, I believe that this was a dozen. If you have more than a dozen, I do not know the quart size of this air fryer, but I think it was a 5 or a 6 quart. But if you have more than a dozen wings, you want to do them in batches. You don't want to pile them on top of each other. That's a no. Just don't do that. So after you get the wings into the air fryer basket, you are going to set the timer to exactly 23 minutes. So I'll say it again, make sure you put the timer at 23 minutes. This is what I cook all of my chicken on. I wouldn't say that I like chicken fried hard, or you know how other people say like they like them fried hard. I just like them done. So after 23 minutes, when you hit the 8-minute mark, you're going to flip them. Do not flip them until it hits 8 minutes. And as you can see right here, I am flipping them, and you can see that they are not done. So some people that put their wings on like 15 minutes, the chicken is not done. So I like done chicken. I wouldn't say I like hard chicken, but I do like done chicken, just like most people. After you get them flipped, you're just going to put them back in there for that remaining 8 minutes. Now we're going to create this very simple barbecue sauce. I wanted a little spice to mine, so I'll show you what I added. Well, you can see what I added right here. So the recipe for the barbecue sauce is going to be about 1.5 cups of ketchup. If you need ketchup, about 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. You also need 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, a 1/4 teaspoon of sriracha or hot sauce. That is what's going to make it hot. 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And of course, you actually need a saucepan. Please do not do this in a saute pan. You need a saucepan. So we're going to reverse this a little bit. What we're going to do is we are going to put all the ingredients together in the saucepan not on the stove. When you're normally making the sauce, you would put it on the stove and you would add the items. What we're going to do is we're going to add it off of the heat and then we're going to put it on the heat. So the first thing you want to start with is the 1.5 cup of ketchup. So I have batches of this in my refrigerator. As you can tell, I do not have anything that is bottled. I make everything homemade. So you can follow this recipe and hopefully you can have some barbecue sauce for whatever else it is that you decide to make. So after you get the ketchup into the saucepan, we are now going to take the most important thing is the apple cider vinegar. Make sure you shake it and make sure you get with the mother that has all of the other spices that you need that is going to season this barbecue sauce. So you're going to take about 1/2 cup of that, and then at this point you want to mix the ketchup and the apple cider vinegar together. This is just to get it well combined before you add anything else because you want everything to run nice and smooth. So please take your time doing this. Keep in mind you are dealing with apple cider vinegar that has a very strong smell as well as a very strong taste. So after you feel like those two are well combined, the next thing that you're going to add is going to be 1/4 cup of brown sugar. The technique is to this is going to take your measurement. You do actually want to measure this. Take your measurement and you want to pack it into the measuring cup. So once you get the brown sugar packed into your measuring cup, you are simply just going to drop that into the saucepan with the ketchup and the apple cider vinegar. So when you do that, you are going to dissolve the brown sugar into that wet mixture. This should not take you more than about a minute or two, but you do want to take your time and you do want to whisk this in. So what we're doing is helping the sauce because when we put it on the stove, it is going to have to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. So the next thing you're going to do is take 1 tablespoon of the Worcestershire sauce and you're going to simply add that in as well. And then after that, you're going to take 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. The lemon juice, if you have freshly squeezed, that is even better. That's what I used. But if you have the one that's in a bottle, that's okay. But make sure you get the real one because it's some that look like water. But you want to make sure you get the brand, probably the brand. I think it's a brand. Yeah, it's a brand called Real Lemon Juice, but just make sure it's real lemon juice. So now we're going to take 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and then 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Keep in mind that these are the only 2 seasonings that we are using in this barbecue sauce because everything else has a lot of different ingredients that is useful for barbecue sauce. Now to make mine a little bit spicy, I am going to do about a 1/2 teaspoon of sriracha. If you want to add more, go ahead and add more, but this is my recipe and this is what I added. So once you get everything in there, you are going to mix everything together. So I'm going for a thicker barbecue sauce because we are doing air fryer wings, so this is why I wanted to do a thicker sauce. So now you are going to have your heat on low and you're going to put the saucepan on top. You do not want this to boil, you want this to simmer. So you are going to simmer this for at least 10 to 15 minutes. If you turn your heat up to medium, which I don't suggest that you do, I suggest that you keep it at a low. If you do have to turn it to medium, this is when you will cook it for 10 minutes. But if you keep it on low, as you can see my eye is set to 2, you want to cook it for at least 15 minutes. So after you've cooked it for 15 minutes, it should look just like this and it is ready. It is time for you to take it off. At this point, what we are about to do is allow it to cool. It is very important to allow this to cool because keep in mind, while this is getting done, the air fryer wings is on its last 8 minutes, so it is about to be done. So you do not want to bite hot chicken and then hot sauce. You don't want to burn yourself. But it should look just like this, nice and smooth, and you can either put this in an ice bath or you can just, do something else and allow it to cool. By that time, when it's cool, you want to transfer it to a mason jar or whatever kind of storage container that you prefer. So you're going to transfer it, but please make sure this is cool. Please make sure this is cool. You do not want any accidents, and barbecue sauce is really hard to get out. So you can set some to the side for your air fryer wings, or you can put the whole thing in here. I used the rest of mine that was in my refrigerator, so I decided to show you guys how to make it. So it should look just like this if done correctly, and you can keep this for up to 2 weeks. Just go ahead and pop a label on there. When the air fryer wings are done, you are going to put some of the barbecue sauce at the bottom of any bowl, and then you're going to add the wings and add some more, and then you're going to toss it around. My camera cut off when I was trying to show what the wings look like, but I have another video, I'll link it below, of when I did the Parmesan garlic, and you can follow that as a guide. So now you are completely done. You are going to plate them, and this is one, actually two of many air fryer recipes that I will show you. I will create this as a whole series. There are so many things that you can air fry. So let me know how y'all like this recipe, and I'll see you in my next video.